Level check. Am I coming through?
Yeah. I feel like maybe.
Now here it is.
Sorry.
Okay, I was talking about Michigan being a winter wonderland. It says so on the plates. It makes you wonder why the hell you're living there.
What plates?
On the wall, those
yeah.
plates he stole off cop cars years ago.
Ha!
We were supposed to steal one for a scavenger hunt at Michigan State. That was one of the things in University Police Department license plate, and I'm like, they're really trying to get somebody in trouble here, aren't they? It was sanctioned by the dorms. It was a dorm.
It's a scavenger
event. Yeah.
What else are you gonna do?
You gotta steal a cop's fucking license plate.
Steal that shit like you own it. You're not even stealing it at that point.
You do own it because you paid the taxes for it.
It's my fucking plate.
I wanted it back.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't appreciate what I got in return
It's not
for
even,
it.
So at that point, it's not even stealing. Yeah, right?
30 days in the hole.
Fucking bullshit. You know what's funny?
Check.
I seen on the news.
Check.
What did you see?
On the news the other day, them talking about the complete lack of humanity that is the Otsego County Jail. I've heard people mention it before. I thankfully haven't had the privilege of being in there, but they were even talking about like explicitly saying, it's over 50 years old. It's just fallen in. It has a capacity of like 32 people, and they try and house like 40 some.
Well, maybe they shouldn't be the whole damn town getting in trouble at the same time. Because they all know each other. They should at least switch. I mean, look, they can only get so many people in a police car. If enough people run, it'll be a different person each time in there. They won't have the place filled
Are you
up.
talking about like blitzing, like Area 51 shit? Like, I don't know, it was a year or two ago. They were like, "Oh, let's all get a bunch of people together and blitz fucking Area 51."
Who was saying that?
I don't know, like a bunch of people on the internet before I
There's
deleted my
Why
Facebook.
did they want to do that?
They wanted to storm Area 51 to...
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna find out what's inside.
Yeah,
I remember there was a bunch of controversy. People were like, "That's a dumb idea. You're just gonna get shot. You're gonna get a bunch of your friends. Let's go get fucking shot." Yeah, and then there's other people who are like, "No, they can't shoot us all." So there was a bunch of back and forth.
Just
I
like the riot.
I just remember thinking, why do you want to do that anyways? Like, what's so important? Like,
Really, it's just like in that movie, any movie where somebody says, 28 days later when they went into where the animal testing place and they released all the chimpanzees and they've
Look
got
what happened
the
there.
rage.
look what happened
Some
there.
stupid bastard has no idea what he's doing.
Exactly. Let's get a bunch of
Let's
fucking.
go into Area 51 where they keep all the aliens. What's his vault? I
Allegedly.
bet that's where they keep the Fort Knox's gold.
Yeah. There's something in there. We have no idea, but let's just get a bunch of fucking mindless drones to.
And there they've got Geraldo Rivera inside waiting. Told you there was something in there. And now a word from our sponsor. As your sponsor, I highly suggest you never tell your therapist the truth. This will only last so long, and they will let you go home and stop doing AA. And you can leave a hero if you follow my advice. That was a word from our sponsor.
You gotta speak from the soul. This podcast comes from the heart, and you're trying to
My
make
soul
it come
goes
from
all
the brain.
different directions. It's quiet and it's loud.
We've got the soul of the podcast over here, and then we've got the heart of the podcast, and then the brains of the podcast.
It's just like in
The-
that
like
Tobias
that lot-
murder things.
Back to the Tobias murder.
No, that's what they called the defense lawyers, the team in the end, the heart, the brain, and the muscles. One was the muscle.
Really?
They like giving names like that to the people that are on TV.
Well, yeah, together we're just like little mini podcasters, and then together we come and we form one big pile of bullshit
Realistically.
podcast. Shitcast.
A bullshit Voltron?
Yes.
Realistically speaking,
Voltroning in the mitten.
realistically speaking, if you are the heart And Nolan over there is the brains, and I am the soul. Together, we're all going to hell.
Yeah.
You can't go to hell without a soul.
See, my brains didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
See?
now I'm stuck.
They were getting faulty information since your youth.
I kind of felt it was going to go the other way. I was just leaving. I was just gonna, I was going on faith, I guess. But I mean,
the heart.
But really, what's the part that goes to hell? The soul.
I don't know if there is a hell.
The heart and brain just kind of die, don't
be
they?
a hell. There can't possibly be a hell if there's a God that gave us free will, like some kind of experiment. And so we're like free will, so we're allowed to do anything we want because he gave us this. And now he's going to punish us because we didn't do what he told us to do? There can
He didn't tell us to do
not
anything.
be a God.
He
hell.
allegedly made someone else tell us things we can't do.
Well, I guess it depends. Yeah,
Allegedly, he kicked us out of his fucking house.
there are the Ten
Not so
Commandments. I
much,
think
no.
those are-
I wouldn't say he kicked us out of his house.
Genesis.
I'd say, like, he's basically holding auditions, whether or not we're allowed,
We are using the word he because it's just an imaginary thing anyway. What do you call a fucking a
thing.
fish in a bowl? I can't know if it's a boy or a girl. It's just this thing
Entity.
that doesn't do anything.
Some entity.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well,
It would take us to be a part of it for it to be an entity. It's not just one individual. It takes like at least two, right, to become an entity. It is to become more than, and he's stealing our thoughts,
how is
our
it not?
fucking energy.
Well, now if you're,
How is it
I don't
not
know if
like
you're,
that?
like, I don't know if Catholicism does that. Do they do the Holy Trinity thing? Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yeah. And if you watch my show from last week on it might have been on Easter, I told how the Holy Trinity works.
Yeah,
The
okay.
Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Yeah.
Which is awfully confusing when you're like.
I figured it out. It was confusing until last week. It struck me. I said, "Oh my God,
I haven't thought about that. In a while.
God fucked the Holy Ghost, and there's little Jesus as a blastocyst. They had to put it somewhere, so they put it in a virgin because they didn't want some whore with syphilis. That's the only way you could be sure if they were a virgin back then, is if they were,
Disease free.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't need that.
Oh, you asked.
Radio edit. That was good. Yeah.
He said, you asked.
No, that's not the bottom line. I've still got ideas to put together.
Well, yeah.
I'm getting a tent behind the house down there.
So anyways, you had a story
For
to tell.
friends, not because I'm getting kicked out.
I was gonna ask, are you moving out back?
We're going to have a jamboree,
Okay.
We're not going to pay taxes on the house anymore.
You could have like farming.
I'm
there or
ordained.
something.
Huh? Farm
You're
animals?
Farming.
You're ordained?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's
I
fantastic.
have burials and burials, but I said that last week, but I don't do baptism unless they're in my own blood.
They're tough.
Marials and
I
burials, he
just
said.
don't like it.
That's
I have
a good
done
one.
baptism on an actual kid. Kids seem to
On an
like
annex
it.
kid?
On a what?
Ex-kid. What?
Ex kid?
No, I don't think.
You did a
No, I did. I
baptism? You did a
baptized some
baptism?
kid in the water.
you did a baptism.
The lifeguard said, "Hey, cut it out." He had it coming, and there the light of God shone upon him, and he cried. And I wondered, "Are you crying because you're happy?" He said, "No, I just saw that the rest of my life is ruined."
I'm trying to work here. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Come on, I'm getting paid for
Come
this
on,
baptism.
Ma. Quit following
I'm
me to
getting
work.
paid for this baptism. Come on, time is blessings.
We got 5 minutes left.
Taking a job as a volunteer lifeguard at the Y so you can baptize people's kids without them knowing it.
Well, or maybe you just baptize people like on the side, like they just show up, like that's a good gig. Like you're already,
Like blitz baptism?
like you're.
Like baptism
Hey, I'll be at
blitz.
the Y at like from Sunday from noon to 3. Stop by and I'll charge you $25. I'll baptize your kid.
Yeah. It's just like when I drove the shoot truck. The other shoot trucks, there were people selling weed out of them. They'd show up at these corporate yards and just sell weed. They weren't really too worried about the boots, but
Like mobile baptisms?
No, there's an
like
idea.
in a van,
Like
This
a
is
food
like a
truck,
Roman
but
Catholics
it's
used
a,
to do
bat-
that.
Like you just pull up in front of Tractor Supply.
and it's got like the sink in the
Baptisms?
back or whatever.
Just-
It's got a bathtub.
And at
It's
the
like a
same
van
time-
with a bathtub in it.
Oh, one of those limos like they have in the videos
Yeah,
with
back
the
in the-
chicks in the back in the tub and everything.
Like yeah,
Oh, Jim Jones and the girls of the Messiah.
you see like some limo driving down the road, and someone's getting baptized in the back. Like,
Well, you could probably charge a lot for that.
You probably
like on the Vegas Strip, fucking Baptist, you know,
was
Which
baptized
really
in
isn't
Vegas.
a bad idea.
baptized in Vegas, and all I got was this wet T-shirt.
That's not bad.
Get married, baptized, all this like within
Yeah,
an
you've
hour.
got the limo. You can drive them around town with champagne after they get married, after the baptism. I mean, they always want to make Catholics get baptized and convert before the
I was gonna
marriage.
say, yeah. So if if you're marrying a Catholic and you're like, well, I'm, Methodist, like, well, no problem. We'll baptize a Catholic right here.
You can be whoever you want. All I'm doing is a baptism. I'm just throwing the water.
We have you probably have to go through like a 15-minute counseling session or something.
Yeah, and give them a certificate.
Yeah. But I think that'd be pretty. Maybe it's being done.
It wouldn't hurt for one more person to be doing it. I could make some good money that way. I have married people too. It works.
Like a baptism truck. Like you pull up, like, next. All right, baptism.
I think you could,
I'll take a baptism for 2, please. All right.
Yeah, you could do that, but
There
I
we
think,
go.
I mean, if you're while you're at it, you might as well do marriages.
The option is there.
Yeah, you just fill out a form.
I can even do confirmations.
There you
See,
go.
right at the same time, right after the baptism, you go, "Are you sure about this?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they say, "Remember what you just said?" And they say, "Well, yeah, you really want to go through this?" "Yeah." "Ha, you're confirmed. Give you a new name," just like Charles Manson gave everybody new names. They do that in confirmations. They make you choose another name. They want you to do one of a saint, but they said it doesn't matter. When I was doing it, when I was 13, 12 years old, deciding I was a Catholic for life. I'm too young to know that then. I haven't even been laid. And so I chose a name, just Brandon. I took no saint's name. I did that on purpose. They looked at that funny. But then my nephew, one dude, he's your ex-drummer's brother, was named Brandon. So he took the name that I chose for myself and my cousin gave it to his kid. Don't say his last name.
We didn't have to do that where I went, but I was Lutheran. I mean, it's
Okay,
kind of
so we
fluctuating,
were
but-
moving on to your story.
Oh, yeah.
If we can cut all that in between now
We can.
and just
Oh,
do one of these middle clips and it
We got to figure out
continues with-
something
I don't
to
think
do.
the story's that good, but I'll tell it. So, it's probably not good.
Well, it's always good to us because we can relate. If anybody else can relate, then they'll be all right. If everybody's so far removed from us that they just don't get it, maybe they need to go out and get drunk in the forest for a while.
And that's what had happened. One Sunday morning, I was rather, I was hungover, and so it was Memorial Day. And so before I left, I figured I'd take a walk around this other section of the campground, which is basically walk-in sites or canoe-in sites. And I'm standing out there, and just looking around. It's a beautiful day, but I felt like, I was incredibly hungover, and it was just like, wow, I'm miserable, but it's super nice out.
You didn't have to go anywhere yet, did you?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Okay.
And
Well, then that's a fine Saturday morning to
No,
start
Sunday
drinking.
morning.
Sunday, or maybe it was Monday morning.
Oh, that sounds more like Monday.
I think.
Well,
I think it was Monday.
if it's one of the weekends that I'm thinking of, yeah, it makes sense that you wouldn't remember what day it was.
Well, it was Monday. I'm pretty sure because I had this. Yeah, there was some dread about got to go back.
Monday's the buffer day too.
Well,
Already, like,
yeah.
so now you're wasting your buffer day.
Well, it was pretty early. I was just walking around. I was kind of bummed out because it was like, well, the weekend's over. Everybody's going home, and I don't know how I feel about this because I'm all hungover and just kind of, sometimes it messes with your emotions. So
I miss everybody.
Yeah, so I'm walking
Good
around at
times.
this campsite.
And you just got another year older, and you feel 5 years older after the weekend.
Oh yeah, because
Which
your
is-
birthday's like right
Yeah.
fucking there too.
Usually right around there, sometimes before or after, but before or on, I guess, yeah. But anyway, so I'm walking around this group campsite, and it's a beautiful day, and I hear the gate open at the far end of the campsite, and I think, oh, here comes the CO, whatever, you know. But then I keep staring down the 2-track, and into my vision comes an ambulance. And I'm like, what's an ambulance doing out here?
Over here.
And I thought about it, and I was like, I've never seen another vehicle other than a DNR officer driving around, but there's an ambulance here. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird.
Who did I kill last night?
Well, I just was like, what happened? And I wondered for a long time. I wondered for almost maybe it was 2 years, maybe it was a year.
Wow.
And I went back to that campsite on a Friday or Saturday night, a couple of years following. And there's these guys that always have camped there, and I was talking to them about it, and I'm like, hey, weird story about your guys' campsite. Like, one year I was, basically telling them the same thing. I was hungover, walking around, just looking around at the river and stuff, and I saw an ambulance, and I still don't know what that was about. And the guy's like, oh yeah, our friend died, and I was like, wow.
That's
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. That was pretty
that's one
shocking
way
to me, and I was like, "Well, gosh, I'm sorry to hear that." Like I didn't know what to say because I wasn't, I had no idea that was what had occurred. I mean, I thought maybe somebody, fell off a mountain bike.
I thought something something important happened.
Well, not that,
Damn.
intense, but these guys. Were just
I got
like,
your joke. Sorry.
But I.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Dweebuchi.
But so those guys are out there, and I just thought, well, that's crazy. Your friend died out here, and here I am telling the story of how I saw the ambulance pull away.
Yeah.
And
here I am, fucking hating my life, all hungover
well,
on a Sunday or Monday. Who knows?
Damn.
Fucking walking around.
And I'm thinking,
What
God,
the
I couldn't.
fuck is this ambulance
I
coming
couldn't
into
feel
my
it was
life
miserable.
for?
I'm feeling lucky it was the ambulance. I didn't want the CO coming in and arresting me or something.
Well, it took 2 years.
Yeah.
It took 2 years or so to make it all tie back together. It's like, well,
the information comes.
I guess I was as awful as I felt. I wasn't in that vehicle. I mean, honestly.
It was
oh,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
universe's
The bright side.
the universe's way of saying like could be worse.
It took you 2 years to get over that hangover.
Yeah.
Once
yeah.
I went 11 hours, total whole day of driving out of Albuquerque until I finally found a way to rectify what I'd done the night before. And I got a moral to it. Just because you say you're going to do something when you go out on the road doesn't mean you have to when you come up with the opportunity. And it took me 11 hours to figure that out. I said, well, I got a moral out of it now. But you got 2 years to figure out how to get over that miserable hangover experience, and it took an ambulance. Sometimes it takes a stranger.
Well, it's those guys were pretty cool. I mean, I haven't seen them in years, but
Skippy and
yeah,
they were people I introduced you to because I was dressed as the Joker,
yes.
running through the woods.
That's another story.
That's the Joker's theme song.
That's I think was that the year maybe that was
that was a different year.
That was a different year.
Those guys I think were there. Yeah, those kids that were hanging out, going, what the hell's going on? They were from their group. They were people that their group. Skippy and them didn't even like these kids.
Is that who was walking around with like the ghetto blaster on their shoulder and stuff? Maybe that was another year. It's all kind of blurry.
I don't think I'd like that.
Mortars or anything.
No, not like somebody shooting off fireworks in the campground.
Or fucking a bunch of people like just bringing all their goddamn side by sides and just fucking, balls to the wall, fucking, first as soon as you fucking wake up, just fucking ATVs side by side.
In that campground.
No, that was so fucking that was bullshit. It was.
But you got to realize they've been listening to us all night long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't hold that against them.
Well,
that's actually more proper what they're doing, unless you're thinking like we do. You're supposed to have a weekend in a place where you can just get away and not have to leave.
There's some give and take there, I suppose. With the.
I think I was talking too loud.
Well, don't
listen to what I said.
We probably tortured them all evening.
Yeah.
And so they.
You know what? Fuck this. Fuck it. And I gotta get the fuck out of here.
How much more do you want out of me? Isn't it so obvious? That we just have to show up and talk to a bunch of different people and have different aspects the way we put our points across. How much more do you want out of me? See, this is the interesting thing about Memorial Day weekend. Really, the most important part of what we remember from this Memorial Day weekend should be the things we can't talk about anymore. We should be able to just sit down, shut up, start talking to each other, and realize even though we've got our mouths closed, our ears are open, and nothing means a goddamn thing, does it?